Seattle, the Emerald City, a jewel glittering with the brightest of futures. Home to Boeing and high-tech industries like Microsoft, McCaw Cellular, and Nintendo. America's most livable urban environment. A truly cosmopolitan port city. And the gateway to the vital Pacific Rim. Home of the famous Space Needle, Mount Rainier, and Seattle's newest landmark, the SODO Center. Seattle's largest building at 1st Avenue South and Lander Street was formerly the Sears Catalog Distribution Center. Now the SODO partnership has transformed the huge building into a thriving urban complex where retailing, warehousing, manufacturing, and office users coexist in a modernized 1.8 million square foot structure located just south of downtown Seattle. Until 1987, 2,100 people worked in the building for Sears. After Sears closed the operation, the building dominated its surroundings, a dark and foreboding complex on 17 acres of prime land. For 3 years, an entire district of Seattle was on hold, until the partners bought it and renamed it SODO to reflect its location south of Seattle's King Dome, and developed the vision that created the urban complex that SODO is today. SODO's huge space is leased by a rich variety of tenants. Retailers occupy 160,000 square feet in the main building. Retailers like Sears, Bargain Bob's, Office Max. In August 1992, SODO demolished the old Sears Auto Center and built a new Sears Auto Center. In August 1993, SODO developed and Home Depot opened a 108,000 square foot store and a 23,000 square foot garden center. An upper floor of the SODO Center was modified to provide privacy and security for Intermation's downtown record and retrieval storage facility. Intermation leased 125,000 square feet. The U.S. Postal Service worked with the SODO team to convert 12,000 square feet into Seattle's bulk mail handling facility. SODO has leased over 150,000 square feet of passive storage space to such users as the University of Washington, Swedish Medical Center, Puget Sound Seed, the Pacific Science Center, Stewart Title, and others. Starbucks Coffee Company occupies 60,000 square feet of modern office space, with options for expansion. SODO, through U.S. Customs, provides 40,000 square feet of bonded warehouse space. This facility is operated by Unlimited Warehousing, who also operate a full-line public warehousing facility occupying an additional space of over 100,000 square feet. Olympic West Sportswear is one of the largest outerwear manufacturers in the United States. This year, they'll produce over 1 million garments for clients such as LL Bean and Land's End. SODO houses the biggest of their 3 manufacturing centers. 270 people work in this modern cutting and sewing operation. President Eric Hilt says SODO's success is attracting a lot of attention.
There's a lot of excitement now about this whole building and the whole location here in the SODO area. It's becoming more well known throughout the whole city. I think years ago people knew the Sears building, and then it kind of faded away. And now it's being really vitalized with the new tenants that are coming in here and the amount of traffic. We have people from all over the country that come in here now to see us. The atmosphere here is very positive and friendly.
The SODO team's mission is to keep their tenants satisfied and to have those tenants refer new clients. They work toward their goals through teamwork and quality service. Gary Mulhare is president of Pioneer Human Services. Pioneer operates a bakery and deli cafeteria in the SODO Center. He thanks the SODO team for their commitment to keeping their tenants satisfied.
Security's fine. Access off the loading docks is superb. utility support, the garbage support, you know, refuse and things of that sort, all that's going very well for us. I couldn't be happier.
Before the Soto partners recognized its potential as a real estate opportunity, Soto was a sleeping giant. It was a huge property, strategically located with a rich and remarkable history. In 1912, the Sears and Roebuck Company opened the site as its first catalog distribution center outside Chicago. With 200 employees, the Seattle Sears handled catalog sales for all business north of San Francisco. By 1915, the new Sears Roebuck venture was so successful that the company needed an 800,000 square foot addition to handle the volume. The Sears building became the country's largest outside Chicago. Don Patrick was the superintendent of the Sears building for almost 50 years and stayed in that position with Soto until his retirement in January 1993. He recalls how Sears built the building so that trains could actually traverse the first floor.
Now, that led to some unusual things. One of the first things was the practice of pulling up a carload of insulation and selling it to the public right out of the car, which was sort of neat. And that led to parking lot sales, where we would turn the parking lot into a circus atmosphere and actually sell slightly damaged goods and new goods right out of the parking lot.
The building grew even bigger every decade until it reached its present 1.8 million square feet. In December 1987, Sears closed its immense distribution center.
Good morning, SODO Center.
3 years later, in early 1991, the sleeping giant was awakened. The Nitze-Stegen partnership had bought the building and moved their offices there. From the beginning, Nitze-Stegen had a clear vision and a long-term strategy. They developed the Soto team that is now the on-site leasing and operating manager for the Soto complex. Frank Stegen heads the operation.
We had a vision for Soto that was really quite simple. Sears had certain uses, we were going to copy those uses. We were not going to do anything different and bold and imaginative. We were going to keep it simple. Through teamwork and planning, we were able to accomplish what Soto is today. We have manufacturing, retail, distribution, storage, and office.
This is a very busy place. On any given day, unlimited warehousing's operations at Soto are likely to be processing imports from Taiwan, Singapore, Japan, and China, to name just a few. Soto's location and the flexibility of its services and equipment make it highly efficient in handling massive volumes of merchandise. And its enormous size is very important to people like Paul Sitkowski. Their SODO Center operation is one of 6 facilities the company operates in the United States.
We can bring in someone, say, here, we have, what kind of space do you need? Do you need 40,000? Do you need 50,000? Do you need 100,000? We have those capabilities. We have the space available for them. And this gives us a lot of flexibility, a lot of good marketing towards companies that do need size, not the small companies, the big companies.
Companies that need space can find it in the SODO Center. Its total area is about 40 acres, more than 4 times the size of the Kingdome. 3 football fields could lay end to end within the main building. It's 1.25 times the size of Seattle's Columbia Center. A single floor covers 4.7 acres and measures over 1,100 feet in length. The floors themselves are 12 inches of reinforced concrete. The SODO Center has 50 loading docks, serviced by 9 freight elevators having capacities of 1 to 6 tons. The huge size of the building means that tenants like Olympic West Sportswear and Starbucks Coffee can make plans to expand without looking for a new location.
Our expectations to growth have always been outstripped by our actual performance. Soto, with its large floor plates, gave us that capability and the ability for us to negotiate with SODO Center for these large amounts of space on an ongoing basis.
We're estimating about a 25% increase in business for 1994. Here at the Soto building, we'd probably be getting up in the 160 to 180,000 square foot area. There aren't that many other buildings that we could expand to the degree that we're thinking of over the next 5 years. So this location was very, very important to us.
Location, location, location. Soto is a few blocks south of the downtown area of a thriving port city. Soto lies at the crossroads of the region's major land, sea, and air routes. The Port of Seattle is at its door, as is Seattle's central business district. The SODO Center is just off Highway 99. Soto is within 15 minutes of Seattle-Tacoma International Airport by freeway. On and off ramps for Interstates 5 and 90 are just blocks away.
Access to the freeway is great. We're always on and off the freeway.
Paul Sitkowski is just one of the Soto tenants who moved to the site because of its location.
There is not a facility like it that was available to us that was as close to the pier as this is, with the capabilities, with the size that we needed.
Soto's location is ideal for its tenants, but the SODO Center offers more than lots of space in a good location.
If the Soto people had not come in and given this place a badly needed facelift, you would not see all the upgrades in the neighborhood buildings.
When the Soto team acquired their new property, they were getting a building with excellent structural features and systems. Sears had always adhered to the highest quality standards for the building, including installing the best roof in Seattle.
The roof that Sears selected was a Cadillac of all roofs available.
It was constructed of 2 inches of styrofoam laminated to concrete.
I started in 1967, and I've enjoyed it ever since. It's much better than working on ships.
The building's chief engineer for over a quarter of a century, Dave Morrow, knows Soto well, and he knows how well it runs.
This equipment was all rebuilt or installed new in 1949, and it was over capacity at that time. Everything that Sears did or put into the building was first-class equipment. And the controls and everything that's here now is still practically the same as brand new and very reliable.
The fire and life safety equipment at SODO Center is new and state-of-the-art. SODO's chief financial officer, Kevin Daniels, comments.
The life safety system is monitored 24 hours a day, 365 days a year.
In case of fire, the totally automatic system goes to work. Smoke detectors signal a central fire control panel, which indicates the location of the fire. The system sounds fire horns and contacts the fire department, located just 4 blocks away. Retailer Bob Fall says that the SODO Center is one of the most secure buildings in Seattle. That's one reason he moved his business here.
Being a retailer these days, the security of the facility that you're in is very, very important. And the SODO Center has some of the best security that I've ever seen.
The SODO Center's security system has 4 separate and distinct components. On-site security personnel patrol the facility and monitor the entire system. 20 strategically located closed-circuit cameras record activity. They can be monitored at 3 separate locations. ADT Security monitors an electronic system comprised of nearly 500 sensors located throughout the building. An electronic entry and exit card key system allows tenants access to the building. SODO's management team is located on-site in the SODO Center. That means they can respond to tenant concerns immediately.
And questions were answered. Any problems that I had were dealt with immediately. The response has been great, and that's very important to me, too.
We're working together as a team instead of as just 2 entities that signed a paper and have nothing to do with each other except the transfer of money at the end of the month.
Art Pagnotta is the general manager of the Sears store at the SODO Center. He's seen the effect that the Nitsa-Stegan team has had on the entire complex.
With SODO management being in the facility, they have accomplished more in the last 2.5 years than Sears accomplished in the prior 20.
What about the next 20 years and beyond?
Perhaps a year from now, we'll have a full-scale, multi-dimensional food service business working in SODO.
We need warehouse space, we need office space. We are also going to mail order business. This facility has everything that I could possibly need for the next 10 years.
SODO wants to do more for its tenants. Future plans include an 1,100-car multi-level garage with 65,000 square feet of new ground floor retail space. This will make the SODO Center even more convenient for both customers and clients. Unlimited Warehousing, working with the SODO team, expects to finalize approval for a U.S. Customs centralized examination site, reducing cost and time delays for importers and exporters. These column caps on the roof of the 1974 edition provide the structural platform for an additional 3 floors, adding another 120,000 square feet of space. And SODO is working with the Port of Seattle toward becoming a designated foreign trade zone, eliminating duty charges for imports and exports. With these